Now available on Tata Sky channel number 526.
Hello and welcome to the Property News here on Magic Bricks Now, India's first property business channel. I'm Krishna Kumar. First up, a check on all the headlines that we're tracking.
2nd October 2016, only online submission, only online permission, online submission.
Our big exclusive of the day, in a big push for ease of doing business, construction permits in Delhi and Mumbai will be granted online only from the 2nd of October. This also means that you, the home buyer, will be able to check building permits online.
By other CHS and has directed demolition of the building within 4 weeks.
A symbol of political corruption, Adarsh building is set to be demolished, says Bombay High Court. The court has also ordered an inquiry against ministers and officials involved in the scam. Cheer for Bengalurians. The long wait for Namma Bengaluru East-West corridor ends. The metro connecting Kaban Park to Majestic Metro finally opens to the public. We tell you what impact the new metro line will have on the city. And also in the news, Taloja residents are up in arms against the state government and the BMC's decision to open a new landfill in the area. All right, let's kick things off then with our big exclusive of the day. In a big push for the ease of doing business, construction permits in Delhi and Mumbai will be granted quote-unquote online only from the 2nd of October. This obviously means that you, the home buyer, will be able to check building permits online. Let's first listen to what Urban Development Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu had to say.
2nd October 2016, only online submission, only online permission, online submission. Even if you want to divert it from one agency to other agency, also online. That should be the line for everybody. The moment I say this will be a headline. But I am also aware in the newspaper, but I am also aware this headline will become a deadline for all of us. The highlight of this process will be a complete elimination of human interaction of the applicant with our urban local body, including online approvals of various kinds of no objection certificates. The time limit for all kinds of approval should be 30 days. Man to man, woman to woman contact should be avoided. So I may mention the Municipal Corporation of Delhi, Mumbai have achieved the streamlining of the building plans approvals. Now an application both the cities has to be applied online.
And our correspondent Deepa Rana joins us live from New Delhi with more details on that big story. Deepa, tell us, it's certainly good news for home buyers both in the national capital Delhi and financial capital Mumbai.
Certainly, Krishna. Yes, it comes as a very big news and a very happy news for home buyers. Now, M. Venkaiah Naidu yesterday announced that construction permits are going to go online in Delhi and Mumbai. The deadline, which he has said, is October 2, as we all know. But this means that basically the architects, the builders will now be able to submit proposals online. They will get permissions online. And things like occupation certificates and proposals will now be online. In terms, it's a good news for developers also, as they don't have to go to different places to get permission or submit hard copies. Another good thing is that we spoke to NDMC as well in Delhi, and they told us that by May 15th they have already started working, and by mid-May or May 15th they are going to also make it online. In Mumbai, the BMC has already rolled out Auto DCR in February, and we have also heard that the CM will also come to Delhi, and BMC Commissioner will also come to Delhi soon to meet the Urban Development Minister and have a meeting in terms of how to go about making the construction permits online, which comes as a good news both for developers and for home buyers.
Deepa Rana there with the details on online version of permits for Delhi and Mumbai, which is set to become a reality. Thank you so much for that. And to understand this better, who better than Magic Bricks Now's editor Faye D'Souza, who joins us to break this down for us. Faye, tell us one simple question. I have nothing more to ask you. How will this help home buyers exactly?
Well, Krishna, it's a slightly long explanation. So basically, this is something that industry and we have been fighting for a very long time. If I take you back to when we lost one member of the builder community in Thane to what was being called blackmail and extortion on the ground from local cooperators who were asking for more and more money in order to release permissions. Now, this will eliminate all of that. From what we understand from industry, a lot of the bribes that are being paid on the ground right now obviously add up to what goes out of the home buyers. It increases the cost of construction, it increases the cost of a project, and that at the end of the day, it is paid by home buyers. If that entire system becomes more efficient, this will hopefully bring down the cost of construction and as a result bring down the cost of homes generally for home buyers. Members of the industry have told us they'd be able to pass on about 10 or 15% straight off if approvals were given to them faster and in a more efficient manner. Now, in Mumbai, in Pune and in Mumbai, for example, we've had the auto DCR for a while. It has not been as successful because even though it's a system online, it still required human intervention. And I think the important thing from what the minister was saying, no human intervention whatsoever in this system. You will not have to interact with a human at all. You just put in your plans and 30 days later, it gives you an approval. Now, the other important thing is the time span of 30 days. If it can actually process approvals in a month, it will cut down time on construction tremendously, which means speedier construction, lower cost of projects, and as a result, hopefully, fingers crossed, better costing and better pricing for homes.
Better costing and better pricing for homes, certainly in this environment, that is, nothing but sweet poetry as far as home buyers are concerned. Thank you so much for helping us understand that. But that is one end of the story, that home buyers, it's the most important, and I get that. But to get us what the developer community feels, the developer's perspective, we have with us Rohit Poddar, Managing Director, Poddar Developers, joining us on the phone. And Rohit, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the Property News and Magic Picks. Now, approvals going online. Now, Mumbai has had this system since February. How is it working on the ground? Has this made approvals faster and more transparent?
Well, any new process takes time. You've got a software that has to manage many, many different permutations and combinations. So obviously customization is a continuous process. And also you need trained officers to actually manage the system, right? Which is brand new for them. So I think 6 months or 7 months is reasonable time between February and October for people to get used to the system, for the system to be streamlined. So, of course, currently there's strain because, like I said, you have software customization requirements as well as trained officers which are not in abundance at this point of time. So as time goes by, both the lacuna and the system will be corrected, and hopefully by October, is the deadline when this should actually hopefully happen. I think it'll make a massive difference to the industry.
All right, Rohit, do you think this move will curb the problem of a delay in possession that is facing home buyers from north to south, east to west in this country?
Not entirely. Basically, the approval process is one part of the cause of delay in possession. The other part is, let's be completely honest, developers in the past have, put money from one project into several others. And as a consequence of that, when the market is going well, it works. When the market is not going well, they get stuck in a trap. So a lot of the delays that you see now that are happening in housing possessions are, of course, led primarily by the massive delays in approvals and, of course, the fact that the regulation hasn't been finalized for the DCR in Mumbai, for example, or in the periphery areas. That's caused a lot of delay. But other than this, developers themselves have had not the best practices, in general. So I think with the Housing Regulatory Act coming up in place, and the auto DCR also becoming more efficient, certainly in the future we can expect deliveries to be much more on time.
All right, Rohit, please hold the phone line with us because we're also being joined now by Niranjan Hiranandani to understand the developers' end of things. Mr. Hiranandani, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the Property News and Magic Bricks. Now, tell us, this move, from as a developer, tell us, how much has it changed, first of all, in Mumbai that you witnessed, and how do you see this improving the situation going forward?
I think for the first time, I see an increase in FSI, which is global. All the time, they used to give various segments increase in FSI, which means you either went for SRA, or you went for hospitals, or you went for schools, or you went for hotels. you went for Bandra Kulla complex, or you went for Dharavi, you got an increase in FSI. People didn't realize that unless you increase the FSI globally, you're not going to be able to get affordable housing or create a large amount of stock.
Niranjan, I want to check with you on the building approvals going online in Mumbai and Delhi. Now, we've had this in Mumbai since February, but now the urban development minister has made it clear that building approvals are set to go online from the 2nd of October. At the time when home buyers from north to south to east to west are struggling with delayed possession issues. Talk to us. This online approval means that home buyers will be able to check permissions online as well. How much of a booster shot do you think this for the industry at this point in time?
I don't know about that, because it also depends on how this is implemented. You have to understand that the machine, which is an auto DCR, is most dependent on people who actually put in the software and really manage the software. So we don't know. It may take some time before it actually gets fully operational, and I'm glad to hear that it's going to be operational very quickly, so that at least 80% of the plans get passed through the auto DCR route, and the 20% will take some time to get it regularized. The long and short of it is that the Chief Minister, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, is hell-bent on seeing that the building plans are sanctioned quickly. In fact, more than the auto DCR, the right to services bill, which has been passed by the Maharashtra government, is a very, very positive role which is going to take place, because they have now put the onus on the government for the first time in the history of India that the officers are responsible and liable for the purposes of giving this approval. So it's not just the auto DCR, a machine that they can blame, but it's also going to be the responsibility of the officers to see that within the time of 60 days.
Niranjan, I had to step in and ask you, the whole point of this whole online system means there's lesser man-to-man contact, there's lesser human intervention. And that means the process gets speeded up, and some developers say, the cost benefit could be as much as 10 to 15%, which developers can pass on to the home buyers. Do you see that happening?
See, the percentage depends on demand and supply, and ultimately we have to see more supply coming into the market. But you have to understand one thing, that any direction by the government or the municipal corporation to speed up the process is going to bring more affordable housing into context. But there are many other things which we have to see, including the taxation, including the fungible FSI rate, including the ready recna, including the stamp duty, including the charges for development charges. All these will also be meshed into giving quick approvals.
Right, Rohit, you were just listening to Mr. Niranjan Hirandani. I wanted to ask you, what's your take? Do you expect other states to follow suit after this?
Well, it's difficult to say, because it's a state subject.
Okay.
So we hope that they follow suit, but it's difficult to actually talk about the political process in another state.
Right, Niranjan, I'm going to wrap things up by one last question to you. You did mention multiple factors, but at the end of the day, this initiation from the Urban Development Ministry is certainly good news for home buyers. As a developer, also, the pace of approvals goes up. It's certainly good news. Just wanted to understand how big a good news is this?
I think everything is like health. Health is not dependent only on food, it's dependent on 100 different things. So similarly in real estate, it depends on land cost.
But would you say this is a booster shot, Niranjan?
Yes, it is.
All right, we'll let it go with that. Niranjan Hirandani and Rohit Pudar, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the Property News on Magic Bricks Now. Meanwhile, in Mumbai, the Bombay High Court has directed the state to raze the Adarsh building to the ground. Built on prime defence land, the Adarsh Society is embroiled in corruption and political slugfest. The society was supposed to house war veterans and war widows, but an inquiry found that the flats were given to politicians, bureaucrats and ministers at a cheap price.
By Adarsh CHS and has directed demolition of the building within 4 weeks. The Honourable Court further held that the statutory authorities and other agencies should conduct a detailed inquiry and identify all the people who are responsible for the violations of law that happened in Adarsh CHS. Further, the illegal BST bus depot FSI has also been revoked. Also, the Ministry of Defence has also been directed to take strict action against all officers responsible, and the land shall also be taken back by it.
आदर्श घोटाले के जो बीच में हमने जो पूरी मेहनत की थी और कोर्ट के सामने जो सुनवाई के लिए रखी थी, उससे आज पता चल रहा है कि न्याय है। तो थोड़ी दिक्कत होती है क्योंकि इनमें जो थे बड़े बड़े लोग थे, बड़े बड़े बाबू लोग थे, बड़े बड़े मिनिस्टर थे और आप लोगों की भी मेहनत है कि आप लोग भी इसमें जुड़े रहे और आखिरकार जाके आज आदर्श गिराने की ऑर्डर हाई कोर्ट से मिली। लेकिन उन्होंने एक उनसे मुदत मांगी है कि 12 हफ्ते का टाइम दिया जाए, लेकिन आज की जो ऑर्डर थे उससे हम संतुष्ट है।
Now, all the residents of Adarsh Society were not allotted flats out of turn. The majority, in fact, are buyers who have put their life savings into these homes. We also caught up with one such buyer. Listen to what he had to say.
मैं समझता हूं कि हमारे साथ में अन्याय हुआ है, क्योंकि हमारे नेवी आर्मी मिलिट्री के कई ऑफिसर हैं जो बेघर हो गए हैं आज की तारीख में। जिसने बॉर्डर के ऊपर जिसने युद्ध किया है, जिसने जिंदगी बिताई है, जिसने बैंकिंग से लोन लिया हुआ है, वो सब फैमिली ये डिमोलेशन का ऑर्डर के बाद में बहुत चिंतित हो गए हैं, क्योंकि आज 6 साल लगा ऑर्डर के लिए। ऑर्डर गिराने का देना तो पहले ही दे देना था हाई कोर्ट को।
Our correspondent Kajal Iyer gets us the ground report. Listen to that.
Well, of course, the current dispensation is in favor of the order that has been taken in by the Bombay High Court. And in fact, when Revenue Minister Eknath Khadse spoke times now earlier, he said that they are in no mood to challenge this order, that they are very satisfied with the Bombay High Court order. So it is up to the Congress and it is up to the leaders involved and also the members of the other society if they want to appeal against this verdict. And in fact, when we spoke to members of the other society, they were of the opinion, including some of the genuine buyers of the other society, that they will go to the Supreme Court to challenge this order once they get the written order in their hands. For that, they had made a specific request to the High Court, because of which they have been given 12 weeks time to appeal to the Supreme Court against this order. Remember, this case was registered by the other society members after they actually got an order from the MOEF and then Minister Jairam Ramesh asking for the demolition of Adarsh, and they wanted to challenge this order of the Ministry of Environment and Forests, and that is why they had come to the Bombay High Court. But the Bombay High Court upholding what the Ministry of Environment and Forests had said, and saying that the Adarsh building needs to go, it needs to be demolished, and not just that, also directing the government that all corrupt politicians and bureaucrats also need to be taken care of. Action needs to be taken in the lower courts where the case is currently progressing.
Connectivity boost in Bengaluru. The crucial east-west corridor of Namma Metro's underground section that runs through the heart of the city was inaugurated on the 29th of April 2016. The underground section will see 5 stations: Kaban Park, Vidhana Sauda, M. Visvesaraya, Majestic and City Railway Station. Trains on the east-west corridor will run from both the end station, Mysuru Road in the east, to Bayapanahalli in the west. We have Amita Balachandra who joins us to tell us just how this will impact the real estate sector. Amita, all yours.
Absolutely, Krishna. Now, if you've travelled in the city of Bengaluru, you will know just how difficult it is to travel from one end to the other. With this metro, line, of course, it's going to give a lot of boost to the city of Bengaluru in terms of connectivity. Of course, the 5 stations that you rightly mentioned are in the heart of the city, which means that what's going to happen now is that the peripheral areas are now going to be connected to all of these 5 lines in the city of Bengaluru. So that is a big boost. In terms of real estate, of course, what's going to happen is that most of the IT/BT companies are in the peripheral areas, and those employees will now be able to travel with greater ease, and that, of course, is great news.
Amita, stay with us. We are hearing that the BBMP, or the Brihat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, has decided to partially roll back its property tax hike. Now, you do, of course, track that market. That's why I asked you to stay back. Can you give us Solpa more details on this? Which areas stand to benefit?
Of course, like we did mention a couple of days ago, that BBMP, or Brihat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, was planning to hike property taxes in the city of Bengaluru, and did hike about 20 to 25%, 20% for residential properties and 25% for non-residential properties. Now, what's happened with this property tax hike, of course, is that a lot of tax zones were realigned, which means areas in tax zone F were realigned to tax zone B, and they were paying far higher taxes. In fact, that quantum was a lot higher, and now what the government has decided to do is that quantum will be fixed. So it does not matter which tax zone you will fall under, but if you have a residential property, you will end up paying 20%, and that falls across the city of Bengaluru, and for commercial properties it is 25%. So that quantum has now been fixed. Of course, this is just a partial rollback. We must remember that about 2 lakh residents have already paid their property taxes, and the government is looking to refund that extra money to them. That's something that we'll keep a close watch on this channel. Also remember, BJP, the opposition, has raised their voice against this, and they want a complete rollback. Of course, that we'll have to wait and watch over the next couple of days to see exactly how that will pan out on ground.
Amita Balachandra there, getting us the top, bottom, and just about everything about the Bengaluru property market. Thank you so much for that update. Meanwhile, in Pune, if you have not yet paid property tax, there's good news for you. The Pune Municipal Corporation has extended their amnesty tax scheme and is mulling a further concession. Ruchi Deshpande joins us with more details on that front. Ruchi, you track this market. Certainly good news for home buyers in Pune, isn't it?
It is, Krishna, it is good news for home buyers or those who are going ahead to pay their property tax. Now, if you haven't done so as yet, there is good news for you in the store, because the Pune Municipal Corporation has extended its amnesty tax scheme by another 3 months, which essentially means that the Pune Municipal Corporation will continue giving you a concession on the penalty that you pay on in case you default on your property tax, and this has been extended by 3 months. So earlier, the Pune Municipal Corporation had offered a discount of about 50 to 75% in case you defaulted on paying your property tax. So this was on the interest that you would pay, and this was applicable only till the 31st of March this year. And now sources in the Pune Municipal Corporation tell us that this has been extended further to the 30th of June. So in case you need to pay it, you need to do so before the 30th of June in order to avail that discount. Now note that Pune Municipal Corporation has a revenue target of about 1200 crore rupees for the year 2015-2016, and they are close to meeting it with about 1100 crore in the kitty already, out of which 800 crore has been from the collection of property tax alone. Now sources in the PMC also told us that in case the revenue target is not met, they will consider extending this discount on the amnesty tax further, or they will look at more concession going forward.
All right, Ruchi Deshpande there with the latest on the good news for home buyers in Pune. And with that, we've completely run out of time over here. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.